Our tanks were useless. As soon as we broke cover, their battlesuits' heavy guns were locked onto us. I swear it was as though they had someone nearby aiming for them before they shot. And when they did shoot, Emperor's mercy, their guns punched through our armor like it was paper. All I could see were trails of fire where the projectiles had ignited the air. What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and this time we will be doing 40 facts on Warhammer 40k once again. It is the heavy units of the Tau, the XV-88 Broadside Battlesuits. Now this guy is amazing in combat, well, range combat that is. He's got a pretty hefty, awesome gun, or you can choose him in his other configuration, which is just missiles on missiles on missiles. So without further ado, let's go into the lore of one of my favorite battlesuits, the XV-88 Broadside. While the XV-8 Crisis battlesuit is by far the most common battlesuit of the Tau, the XV-88 Broadside variant has been identified as far back as the Damocles Gulf Crusade, when it was used to engage heavy armor and provide fire support to squads of fire warriors. During the Damocles Crusade, this broadside battlesuit was quickly identified by the Imperium as a major threat to their armored vehicles, whose soldiers soon learned the dread whip-crack sound made by the hypersonic speed of a heavy rail rifle round. The distinct noise could only be heard after the shot had already hit. In the battles against the Tyranid Hive Fleet Gorgon during the defense of the Calcian Sept, the XV-88 Broadside provided highly adaptive and effective combating the larger alien creatures, especially after refitting their secondary weapons. The mounting of the twin-linked plasma rifle was more effective when confronting the gargantuan biotitans of the Tyranids than the standard smart missile system. During the Great War of Confederation, the primary weapon, the heavy rail rifle, was configured to be replaced with a twin-linked high-yielded missile pod. During initial setbacks in this war, it was discovered that the masses of attacking orc waves and the light nature of their vehicles meant that the heavy rail rifle, although deadly, did not have the fire rate to stem overwhelming tides of attackers. The high-yield missile pods, on the other hand, proved more effective to destroy the crude scrap armored orc vehicles, and since then, many Tau commanders have included this variant in their cadres, either on its own or sometimes in formation with more traditionally armed broadsides. Designed to offer the Tau long-range fire support, the XV-88 Broadside Battlesuit team have exceeded expectations since their conception, becoming mainstays of the hunter cadres and tank destroyers of legendary proportions upon many battlefields of the Tau Empire. The broadside's reach alone is a potent weapon, and this is exemplified by the battlesuit's signature weapon, the heavy rail rifle, which can cut through the defenses of almost any armor and even enemy entrapments at extreme ranges. The whip-crack retort of its fire is greatly feared by all the enemies of the Tau. Broadside battlesuits are commonly fielded of teams of 1 to 3, and they can be carried to battle on Tau orcas or mantas. Occasionally, a single broadside may be tasked when providing fire support for a smaller Tau infantry force. However, once deployed, the XV-8s are slow-moving units in comparison to the other Crisis battlesuits. The pilots of an XV-8 are fire warriors who have progressed to the rank of Chasseurs. Many of these newly promoted to the rank are assigned to pilot this broadside before moving on to the XV-8 as a support role. The XV-88 Broadside battlesuit are towering in size, easily twice the size of a fire warrior. To many Tau, they are a wonder and marvel of the Earth-cast engineering. They are powered by an advanced particle accelerator, and they go into battle with heavily armed and potent weapon systems backed up by combat support systems that also allow them to fight more effectively. However, no matter the configuration or weapon loadout, all XV-88 Broadside battlesuits share some common features. These include the advanced sensors built into the primary sensor cluster that serves as the battlesuit's head. These sensors consist of a number of variable spectrum passive sensors and active scanners, which allow the battlesuit to detect hidden enemy units and their movements. Additional protective armor was added as the first modifications to the XV-88. During the Damocles Gulf Crusade, frontline Imperial forces submitted corroborated after-action reports of XV-88 broadside battlesuits surviving direct hits from autocannon and lascannon fire. As such, the suits are rated as providing as much protection for their pilots as a suit of Space Marine Terminator armor. While the XV-88 shares a similar overall design to the more common XV-8, it does have several notable differences. The most important is that in order to mount its heavy armaments, Earth-cast engineers had to remove the XV-8's jetpack, the output of the repulsor jets insufficient to lift the increased weight of the battlesuit with its new weapon systems off of the ground. The XV-88 design traded the mobility and maneuverability in favor for increased weapon power and range. Its body structure was also significantly modified to compensate for this. Later modifications added stabilization systems, ballistic anchors, and integrated recoil absorption units to the XV-88, allowing it to handle the additional weight and power drain of its heavy weapons. There is also a variant to this unit called the XV-88-2. It switches the mounting of the heavy rail rifles and the variable weapon systems in the shoulder and arm positions so that the heavy rail rifles are attached to the arms and the other weapon systems fires from the shoulders. The XV-88-2 variant also possesses enhanced armor plating that has been tempered to better fit the shape of its chassis, and also has extra stabilizers connecting the heavy rail rifles to the battlesuit's chassis, which are required because of the shift in weight after their repositioning. And now on to the weaponry of this battlesuit. The heavy rail rifle. This rifle usually fires a single solid projectile, and it relies on the projectile speed to penetrate armor even at long ranges. Because the projectiles are so small, large numbers can be carried by the weapon's operator at a time. Such is the power of an XV-88 broadside battlesuit's heavy rail rifle that it can penetrate the thickest plasteel bunkers, often doing so with enough force to punch cleanly through both sides. When used against heavy infantry, a rail rifle can have a devastating effect where the round will simply vaporize the target. Those near the path of the projectile will also find that their breath has been sucked out of their lungs, such is its speed. A heavy rail rifle makes an iconic whip-crack sound when it fires, which is created when the rifle's round breaks the sound barrier. Many enemy soldiers have learned to dread this distinct noise, which could already be heard after the round has already claimed its victim. The high-yield missile pods. These missile pods is a relatively simple Tau multiple missile delivery system which is able to engage targets at long range, and it is similar in power and role to an Imperial autocannon, although it is larger and more rapidly firing, which consists of a silo of semi-intelligent missiles. These missiles are extremely effective against both heavy infantry and light vehicles. The XV-88 broadside battlesuit will wield twin-linked missile pods as alternative primary weapons to its heavy rail rifles. And there you have it, guys. That was the lore on the XV-88 broadside battlesuit. Let me know what you guys think about this marvel of the Tau Empire. Do you guys wish that the Imperium can basically put some big-ass guns on their dreadnoughts? Because, as the Tau know, bigger is always better. Also, guys, don't forget that we do have a Patreon page, so head on over there so you can catch more creepypastas and more for the greater wars that you guys can enjoy for just $1 a month. Also, we do have a Twitter, an Instagram, and a Facebook page where we have oh so much more epic 40k stuff. Don't forget, guys, there's always giveaways to be done, so keep on liking, sharing, and subscribing. As always, I am the Sound Alchemist, signing out.